So you've been told that you pay your bills on time and have a 750 plus credit score, you're good. But the new data shows, like I mentioned in my other video, that even perfect credit borrowers are slipping behind by double digits. So if it can happen to them, it can happen to anyone, especially during these times. And in this video, I'm breaking down why it's happening, what you can do to protect yourself, and more importantly, how to actually profit while others panic. You see, even during times of turmoil and panic, there's opportunity for the person whose lenses are set to see the opportunity. And that's what I want to position you to do. So let's keep going. Now, number one, the good credit lie is getting exposed, because it's more than just about having good credit. We've always said this in the area of financial literacy. Yes, credit plays a huge role in every area. However, when you understand financial literacy, you realize that it's bigger than just the number that they put on public display for other entities to see when they want to see if you qualify for a certain thing. So this is what you got to understand, that even super prime borrowers with a credit score of 740 plus are seeing 109% spike in late payments. I shared an article basically from the Consumer Affairs that showed the bar chart of how they're having 90-day late payments due to the rise of costs of different things. And that is for the people who have super prime credit, super prime 740 plus. So let's explain how to predict, that basically credit doesn't guarantee financial safety. A lot of times people think, oh, my credit is A1, but if you didn't develop the discipline, if you didn't develop the habits, if you didn't develop the process or have the necessary cash flow, then you do yourself a disservice just by only focusing on the number. So number two, why this is happening even with high scores. So inflation, number one, stagnant wages. Like I said, cost of goods and services going up. That's inflation. Stagnant wages. So that's limited cash flow. If you don't have additional cash flow coming in, whether that's you understanding how to income shift, keep more of your money, pay less in taxes, create other streams of revenue, understand all of those aspects of multiple streams of income, then that limits or stagnates your wages. So aggressive lending in 2020 through 2022 now leading to over leveraged borrowers. So there's a lot of lending that took place in 2020. You already know this. In 2022, you already know this. People were buying homes and getting approved for homes way over the value. And the house really wasn't worth that, but people sold it because it was such a demand on houses, and people felt like they had to get it because they felt like it was no longer going to be available. And some of those people have regrets due to the fact that they overpaid for their home and they bit off more than they can chew. And sometimes these homes have gone into foreclosure, etc. But aggressive lending during that time frame is leading to the over leveraged borrowers in 2025. Everything has a trickle effect. So it might seem all good, peachy keen at one point, but years later, things balance out. The smoke settles. And then you really see who's exposed. So lack of cash flow despite the high score. No margin for emergency. If you don't have cash flow, but you have a high credit score, if shit hits the fan, then you catch the smell and everybody else does as well. So you really got to understand the importance of cash flow, the importance of additional streams, especially during the times when you don't feel you need it. See, it's the times that you don't need it where you double down on it because it positions you to not get caught lax and not paying attention to what could likely happen. Not you want to wait until something bad happens and now you're trying to figure out different ways and strategies and you're anxious. And that's what a lot of times happen. People are like, hey, I need to do this by this date. This is happening. But I realized that they've been seeing our information and our posts and our content and asking about it for years. And if they would have took heed to that information then, they would have been better off now. Not to discredit them or down them. I just want you to not wait. Because if you're in a place where things are good, credit is good, that doesn't mean that this message isn't for you. Because it can position you to benefit your future self off of what you decide to do today. So a good FICO score does not equal financial readiness, like I just stated, for all of those reasons. And you got to understand that. So that way you're not just looking at the score, not just looking at that. You want to look at every aspect of finance and cash flow, how things are going from a market standpoint, you positioning yourself from a housing standpoint, whether you're renting or buying, whatever your choice is, making sure that you are thinking ahead versus just reacting. So number three, how it affects you even if you feel safe. Higher credit tiers are shrinking. More people dropping into subprime. Basically, their scores dropping below the 740 mark and under, 700. Loan denials increasing, even for good credit. So lenders are tightening up. If you don't have all of the boxes checked, then they may not lend to you. And a lot of times it's not just about the scores I mentioned. They want to look at a solid profile. I was talking to a buddy of mine, and he has a score that is less than ideal, but all the other boxes are on point. He has good income. He has things that he's paid off. He has on-time payments for multiple loans, whether it's auto loans and, personal loans. He has those things, but his score is less than ideal. But I told him, no, you will still be in position to buy a home because you check off all the other boxes that many people don't, who just have a good score and their profile looks like a skeleton, doesn't have any meat on the bones. So they're looking at everything, and if they're tightening their lending, it's those profiles that are slim, that don't have much going on, that they are less likely to lend to. In addition to that, you got interest rate spikes, higher monthly bills. All of that is eating away at people's cash flow. Identity theft, data breaches, making things worse behind the scenes. If you have any data breaches, we can help you with that. You may qualify for our rapid removal option. Many people have been getting things deleted in, 7 days on average. No guarantees on that time frame, but you may qualify for getting things removed faster, which can help strengthen your score faster than you thought possible. Let's keep going. Number 4. So what can you do right now at this moment, present day? Pull out 3 reports and freeze those reports. That way you're not exposing yourself to those who may be trying to pull your reports and things of that nature. That's optional, but that's just, something I like to lay out. You can also freeze the secondary bureaus. That way they're not sharing your information without your approval, basically. And you kind of give yourself a barrier of protection. Doesn't always guarantee success, but just an extra measure you can take. Secondary bureaus, Innovis, LexisNexis, SageStream, just to name a few. There are several, but those are a few. And dispute legally using FCRA leverage. So the Fair Credit Reporting Act puts some things in place that can position you to hold them accountable for their errors in reporting, not you lying or denying or saying an account wasn't yours. No, if they reported certain things inaccurately, then that can position you to get things deleted. And if you work with me, those FCR errors may even position you to get $1,000 to $2,500 in a compensation based on their error. More on that later. Stick around to the end and I'll let you know how to position yourself to get that. Now you also want to review for identity theft or violations, especially under the 605B, 1681 S2B, which I've covered in a previous video, but basically it's just talking about the violations that exist and that are most common on your profile that could lead to identity theft, that could lead to them modifying your accounts without your approval, and could lead to rapid deletions, as well as blocking some of those collection accounts that may be reporting on your profile. You also need to boost your cash flow, not just your credit score. And I'll show you a way that people are able to position themselves to leverage the industry of credit to boost their cash flow as well. And then you want to join my school community so you can learn, earn, and protect yourself. And you can join that school community just by doing the following. Join CBU, creditbusinessuniversity.com. So you can click the available link down below, or you can just type that in your browser, whatever you prefer. And this positions you to do all of the things that I'm about to say. But first and foremost, just understand that it's not enough to have good credit anymore. You need cash flow, legal leverage, real strategy. That's why the community was built in the first place. I knew that people needed the knowledge, but they needed the cash flow as well. School allows them to share the group with others, and I compensate you 50% of the commission for those who join through your link. It's very important, very critical. That way you can get compensated even if you don't want to launch your own credit business. If you want to launch your own credit business, I help you with that as well. But also, upon joining the group, one of the first things I have you to do is see if you are owed or if you qualify for $1,000 to $2,500 in potential compensation. So once you join inside the school community, you'll see if you qualify for that $1K to $2.5K. And this is without you having to come out of pocket. You getting access to my legal team positions you to position yourself for the compensation if you have any FCRA violations. That way you can turn your credit knowledge and you getting exposed to this information into cash flow. Very important. And if you know someone struggling financially, especially someone with good credit or, even average credit or better than average credit, but you notice that they're still stressed about certain things, send this to them. They need to see this. Take heed to all of this information. I look forward to seeing you inside the community, and I look forward to seeing if you qualify for that compensation, so you can put more cash flow into your pockets and position yourself to profit while others panic. Salute.